Hello everyone, welcome back. It's the start of a brand new Serie A season, which means I have the dynamic duo of Alex Classic Tips, or Alex Campean, and Tancredi Palmeri alongside me. Tan, is that some sort of Italy winning the Euros shirt that you're wearing in celebration?
It is definitely that. You can't really miss it. I'm trying to pop it up inside because, as you can see, where is? Here is the symbol of Euro 2020. Welcome to the League of the European Champions Euro 2020. It's a marvelous shirt, actually, because I'll show you behind, I don't know if you see it, got all the 8 stadiums all the 12 stadiums that hosted Euro 2020. Actually, they are the ones of the previous edition, so with Dublin Stadium and the others. So it's even unusual, uncommon. But that's not the thing that it's worth that count the most. Is that the Euro 2020 is the League of the European Champions. Siamo campioni d'Europa, and they know about this. So they came from everywhere in Europe to take Donnarumma, to take Lukaku, to take De Paul. They said if they won the league, if they won the Euros, there must be something in that Serie A, in spite of everybody criticizing them all. And in fact, they came to grab all the champions, but there is left. There is plenty left.
So football came home, and it came home to Italy. Congratulations to Italy. And that provides me with a next good segue into the question I was going to ask, actually, Alex. Inter won the title pretty convincingly, but financial difficulties among their Chinese owners have forced them to sell Lukaku and Hakimi in the summer. Politano's gone too. Where do you see them finishing this season?
With the new transfers, I think that they will still finish in top 4 and qualify in the Champions League. I don't see them retaining the title this season. I see, of course, Juventus very, very strong with an amazing midfield line there with Locatelli, Arthur, McKinney. I don't know exactly how they will put that middle line, but absolutely amazing with Federico Chiesa, with Ronaldo, with Dybala. I think that there is plenty of firepower there, and fully packed with amazing players all over the pitch. So there is no possible way Juventus will not win the title this season. Under any circumstances, I would say no possible way, really. I think that the difference should be at least 8 points and plus from the second place. So easily Juventus, in my opinion.
Tan, you're nodding your head. Do you agree with that sentiment from Alex?
Yeah, totally. It's not like Juventus strengthened, is that the others weakened. Well, basically, Napoli and Roma didn't really reinforce them. They did with hiring Mourinho and Spalletti, and this will give them possibly the awareness to get into the Champions League spots. Maybe more Roma than Napoli, but watch out in Napoli at Osimhen, he will explode, but we will talk about this later. But, for example, Milan, that was on the path of stepping up, on progressing, evolving season by season. They lost Donnarumma, they lost Çalhanoğlu. Even if you can replace them, you need to replace them with someone that is equal or better if you are on the path of evoluting. Inter are still solid and very good, but they lost all of a sudden Conte, Lukaku, Hakimi, and Eriksen. Even if they brought in Dumfries, Çalhanoğlu, Dzeko, probably Correa will come.
Probably Zapata.
Maybe not Zapata, because this morning he got injured. He got a knee twist that could side him for at least a month. So this actually could have an influence in the possible deal. Anyway,
I think that the most important transfer that Juventus did is Massimiliano Allegri. This is what I can say. Okay, Locatelli is great also as a signing, absolutely amazing player. Plus, Chiesa is better and better, and he showed that on Euro 2020. Absolutely amazing squad there at Juventus.
But
and
see,
with Allegri, I think that wow, yeah.
That's for sure. But see, we are talking about Milan that lost Donnarumma, Çalhanoğlu, Inter that lost Lukaku, Hakimi, Eriksen, Roma lost Dzeko, even Atalanta lost Romero, that was one of the best centre-backs last year. So all the others weakened. For Juventus was enough to say, let's stay steady, let's bring back a solid manager, and we will add Locatelli, possibly even Pjanic. So they not even had to move almost to move a finger, just enough for them to stay where they were. So unfortunately for the fight, what Alex says is what I definitely agree. I see Juventus to win the title with, I would say, 10 points advantage.
Yeah, I make that 3 in a row because I agree. I think they'll cruise to the title this season. Thank you, Tevin, who says greetings from Namibia. He is blessed to be here on a live show. We're blessed to have you here, Tevin. Thank you for joining us. Hey, Sean, Gaz, Jonathan, Rude Boy. Always love a bit of Rude Boy on the chat. Roma Fan Club, Mohammed, PJ, Sean. It's great to see you all here. Thank you very much for joining us. We're going to start analysing the games in a minute, but please hit the like button. Subscribe to the channel, click the notification bell. You'll be informed every time we're about to start filming shows about football, basketball, baseball, all the different sports. And then you can head on over to sportsbookreview.com after this video is finished. You can read articles by the likes of Alex and Tan covering all the big games coming up, and lots of other content as well. You can also learn more about joining SBR's Pick 6 NFL and NCAA football contest, where there's 50 grand up for grabs over the course of the season, £1,600 per week. And it's a free to enter contest, so no reason not to get involved, even if you don't really know that much about American football. Just go for it. Okay, guys, we're going to get into the games now. We're starting off with Inter, which who we were just talking about. Inter are playing Genoa. So, I mean, if you've got a really strong prediction on a game, maybe we'll spend a bit more time chewing it over. But if neither of you are particularly interested in any of the games, we can just skate on over them and maybe say a brief what we think our correct score prediction might be. So, starting off, Alex, Inter versus Genoa. I know they've lost players in the summer, but surely they can still get the better of Genoa, or not?
Yeah, absolutely. They could get the better of Genoa, but basically the head-to-heads are saying to us that this should be an easy match for Inter. In the last, I don't know, 6 or 7, they didn't even conceded a goal against Genoa, scoring at least 2 or 3 in each game. They had a brilliant preseason action, winning most of their matches. Yes, they lost players, but they brought in some interesting one. And in my opinion, the most important one is Çalhanoğlu and also Dumfries. I think that Dumfries is a very important young player that will develop very good in Italy. On the other side, we have Genoa with the one and only Goran Pandev. Absolutely. Yeah. But yeah, I don't think that they will put a lot of problems to Inter. Probably they will score or not. That is less important. But I think that Inter should kick off their campaign in style. There is no value on Inter to win straight. This is why we are going Inter and under 4.5 goals at 1.73, because I don't see 5 goals in this match, and I see Inter winning.
I agree with you there, Alex. I am following you on that tip. These two are the Serie A experts. I'm hosting. I'm brushing up on my knowledge. I'm getting there, but pay more attention to what these guys say. Tan, what's your thoughts on how this game will unfold?
I think it will be very difficult for Inter. I see still Inter doing it in the end, and my prediction is Inter to win combined with both teams to score. But it will be much more difficult than what is expected for a few reasons. First of all, Genoa, with this new manager that last year, was new at the mid of the last season. Ballardini is the one that has always came in 3 times already to save their back. And they play very tight with him until the league is on for them and stay focused. And they are actually kind of giant killers. All the doubts that are, the clouds that are over Inter head for what has been the financial situation. And obviously, new manager, Simone Inzaghi, that is playing the same tactics of Antonio Conte, but it's not Antonio Conte. Otherwise, he would have been much more successful. And also, Inter will struggle up front because Lukaku left. Lautaro is suspended. Alexis Sanchez is out for 2 months. So already at game 1, Inter are compelled in the 3-5-2 to play with Dzeko up front, and next to him they will have to adapt Stefano Sensi, who's not starting a game since a long time because he's injury prone. So a completely different way to play for Inter that normally has been accustomed to see up front always Lukaku to refer with. And
but he started against Dynamo Kiev in a friendly match. He even scored 5 days ago, Sensi.
Yes, but it wasn't an official game. What I'm saying is that in the game where it counts and where how tight are defending in Italy, and Genoa is very, very intense defending. In such a game, they don't see Lukaku and they don't see not even Lautaro because he's suspended. So it will be very hard for Inter. Anyway, I think they want to send a message over saying, yeah, in spite of all those problems, we are still the holding champions, at least for the first times. So they will make it. But it will be hard, in my opinion. And combo Inter to win and both teams to score. Yes, sorry?
Will he play Van Hudson from Inter? That he's a loanee from Inter bought him from Standard Liège, and they loaned him to Genoa. Will he play in this kind of?
It's not clear. It's not clear yet. It's not. But anyway, there are big expectations over him. So along the season, he could find this space. Also because Genoa has dropped Christian Zapata, so he should find space, but maybe not from the very beginning.
So maybe tread carefully with this one, but we're broadly in agreement that Inter will do just about enough to scrape a victory. So me and Alex are going for Inter in under 4.5 goals. Tan's going for Inter to win, but also both teams to score. So 2-1 Inter would be great. Moving along to Verona versus Sassuolo. Two teams that have done pretty well since coming up. I know Sassuolo have been in the top flight for quite a while now, and they've been very impressive. What are we going to see from these two teams this season, Tan? And who do you think is the stronger out of them for this game?
Okay, talking about the perspective in the season, Sassuolo, basically the main change is that they lost the manager, the wonder manager, Roberto De Zerbi, who went to Shakhtar and is actually already started in style the Champions League playoff, winning at Monaco. There's a big change because obviously he has been the main man there, able to make upgrade, especially the players he had. Think about Locatelli, think about Berardi, Caputo, all those players that actually had an impact in this Euro Championship, and they were all coming from Sassuolo. Caputo missed it because of an injury, but it was all because of them. They hadn't changed a lot in the squad. They just only missed Locatelli. So possibly they will suffer a little bit in the middle. Who they have brought in place of De Zerbi? A new De Zerbi. Alessio Dionisi used to be Empoli manager. Very young, is tipped to be, I would say, the new Maurizio Sarri. Empoli was playing greatly. And there were many teams actually disputing the services of Dionisi. Fiorentina wanted him, Sampdoria wanted him, Sassuolo wanted him. Sassuolo, all in all, ended up at 8th place. So he's debuting in Serie A, but there are big expectations over him. Verona, I honestly expect them to tank, maybe not greatly enough to be relegated because there are some 3 or maybe 4 worse teams than them, but they didn't reinforce. They have lost Di Marco to Inter that have put so many assists last year. Especially they have lost Ivan Juric, the manager who did 2 miracles in a row that now moved to Torino. They hired Eusebio Di Francesco that played the Champions League semi-final with Roma against Liverpool. But when he took Cagliari last year and Sampdoria the year before, seems not being able to adjust anymore to the relegation zone. So if I go into this game, I see that the level between Sassuolo and Verona is just a huge mismatch. there is a doubt whether Verona will be able to fight this season like they did last season. The odds on Sassuolo to win are just too good not to be taken.
Oh, interesting. Do you agree, Alex? Are the odds on Sassuolo too good to not be taken? Are you passing?
Like Sean says, I downgraded Sassuolo. It was one of my favorite teams to watch. I want to see them under the new coach right now. They still have an amazing squad, in my opinion, despite losing Locatelli there. But they have Berardi, they have Caputo, Raspadori, Jeremy Boga, even Jeremy Boga there. So I think that it's wise to check them a little bit under the new manager. Probably they will play at the same high pace and positive football like they used to do. Verona's games this season, the trend, in my opinion, will be under 2.5 goals in their game. So that is a way to take it. I don't know. I didn't even check the line for this game to see what it is. But I think that if the line is pretty good here, the line is at 2.75, under 2.75 at 1.73. I don't think that we should expect from Sassuolo to go all in from the first match. And I think that Verona will defend very at the back on two lines and try to go with a positive result, a draw match, in my opinion. So stay away, in my opinion, from this one.
Okay, good. Good. If you're not feeling confident, just pass. You never lose money if you pass. Thanks, Alex. Next game is Empoli versus Lazio. Should be a very exciting game. I'm repping Lazio by wearing this very stylish shirt today. They were fantastic a couple of seasons ago as the pandemic gripped. They were just on this amazing winning streak. I thought they could almost go on and win the title. Didn't quite happen for them. They seemed to regress last season. What are we expecting from Lazio this time around, Alex? Do you think they can take on Empoli in this one?
Yeah, Empoli came back from Serie B after 2 years. Perhaps one of their most important transfers, if we can say if it's a transfer or not, but it's a loanee from Wolverhampton in Premier League. Patrick Cutrone is back in Italy, a very important player in my opinion. He didn't adapt in the Premier League, but in Serie A he may change a little bit his career. He can improve here. I don't think that Empoli is the team for him to play. I would see him to some bigger names than Empoli, not a newly promoted one. I think that the odds are too good on Lazio in this one. They still have a lot of important players in the squad, starting with Ciro Immobile, the most important one. And I think that, again, Ciro Immobile will score many, many goals this year. Luis Alberto and all those. I think that 1.72, if I saw it correct, for Lazio is a price to take in the first leg, in the first round.
Okay,
interesting. What do you think, Tan? Have you got a play for this game?
Yeah, it's a little note, Martin. I have a play for every game on everything. So just don't test me because I didn't miss one game, any play since we started 2 years ago, almost 2 years ago. It's very intriguing, the Lazio project, because Maurizio Sarri is there. And basically they played 3-5-2 for the last 6 years with Simone Inzaghi, who is, I would say, beat old Italian style. And now Maurizio Sarri is changing everything. It's 4-3-3, and he has to enter the mentality of the players and convince them to play in that way. Their transfer campaign has been pretty poor. Can you still hear me?
Yes.
Okay.
Now.
Their transfer campaign has been pretty poor so far. They only just this morning they signed Pedro from Roma, the first player to switch.
What a betrayal there.
The first player to switch from Roma to Lazio or Lazio to Roma in the last 40 years. Imagine
the Roma derby.
Yeah, mamma mia. And he's back with fans this time. So It's an intriguing project, but it needs time to adjust. Although Empoli they don't have they were playing very good last year, but they changed the manager. They called back Andrea Azzoli, who played very good 2 years ago, was relegated by the end, but everybody was praising the fact that in spite of relegation was always proactive. They have 2 very young center midfielder at Empoli, which I urge you to have a look at them. It's Aslani and Bayrami. They are both Albanian roots. They were among the best players in Serie B last year and are the 2 on which Empoli is counting the most. The odds on Lazio are not that great, but still I go with Lazio because at first game possibly the usual values will be respected. Anyway, it's also intriguing that Maurizio Sarri is starting his adventure exactly at Empoli, where he had debuted in Serie A already, 6 years ago.
Someone is saying the Sarri derby.
The Sarri derby, yeah.
No, I full house. I'm going for Lazio as well, obviously. Big Lazio fan this season. I'm not overly bullish on it. I'm not going to go in and put my mortgage on it because it's always difficult to play against the newly promoted team when you've, especially at those low odds on the road. It's not amazing price, but I still think they'll just about get the job done and make a strong start to proceedings under Maurizio Sarri. Okay, Torino versus Atalanta. Oh, I think it was 3-3 the last time these 2 teams played. And the previous game between them finished 4-2 to Atalanta. Not so long ago, the Atalanta thrashed Torino 7-0. So you're pretty much guaranteed goals when these 2 teams play. What do you think, Tan? Are we going to be in for another open, entertaining goal fest on the weekend?
I'd say that it's not great odds, but still decent. But I just take safe Atalanta to win. Torino are dreadful. I mean, for a few years, they were underperforming in spite of having a decent squad. Now they don't have a decent squad anymore. They have a squad that is just good enough to survive and not to be relegated. They brought in Ivan Juric, so the miracle maker at Verona. So they would think that, well, if you did with a worse squad at Verona, bringing them to the 9th place, why not with Torino that got anyway Belotti? They just lost Sirigu, captain and 3rd Italy European champions goalkeeper at Euro 2020. He went to Genoa. But Juric himself, after playing Coppa Italia against Cremonese, Torino needed to go to penalties. Juric went out complaining, and it was understandable, with press saying, seriously, we are not good enough to compete in Serie A at the right level in this way. We need something more. So this is telling you how much he's screaming help. So I don't think it's a no contest. Atalanta to win. I know it's not that great. Odds should be 1.55 European, but it's like a safe bet.
We should play a drinking game where everyone watching has to drink every time Tan reminds us that Italy are European champions.
I'll get you all so damn drunk. Please do it and send us your picture. I will all get you so damn drunk.
Don't worry, I will drink even without you saying to me that.
Alex, I was gonna go for Atalanta and over. Ended up going for the Alex Classic in the end, but I mean, I think maybe Atalanta to win and both teams to score looks good. What are your thoughts on this one?
Yeah, probably Atalanta has the first chance here. But one thing that is always amazing for me every season for the last 2-3 seasons is how come Belotti doesn't switch clubs from go from Torino to somewhere else. Because if they sell Belotti, that's it. Torino will go down. That is for sure. They still have Zaza there. Let's see how much he improved. Marco Piazza, Simone Verdi, Singo. So a decent squad in my opinion. I think that they underperform. I don't think that the squad is so bad like Dan is saying, but I think that they need more. And I think that Juric is the man to look right now. This is why I'm basing my tip here because of the change of the manager. I think that is very important for him having most of his squad at his disposal on this summer to train with them. I think that the Alex Classic is the way to go here at 1.8, but I wouldn't put anyone of that Atalanta and over 2.5 goals or Atalanta to win and both teams to score something like that.
Brilliant. So we're all expecting a high-scoring game. We're all leaning towards Atalanta. Sounds like a broad consensus there. There's a lot of players like Belotti that just sort of stay at one club, and I always wonder why they don't leave, like Gerard Moreno or Iago Aspas or someone like that. Why don't they move on to the biggest clubs and try and win trophies? Maybe they just love it where they are. Maybe he just loves it in Torino. Udinese versus Juventus, the other Turin team. We're all expecting Juventus to win the title pretty comfortably this season. It's Allegri's first game back in charge. Really got to think that they're going to be a lot more solid and composed under him than they were under Sarri and Pirlo last season. What do you think, Alex? Opening win for Juventus?
Yeah, I think so. Udinese was always a problem maker against Juventus, even though Juventus won the last two head-to-heads 2-1 and 4-1. But Udinese is that kind of team that Juventus always has problem to play against, mostly on the road. But we are talking about two different aspects here. We are talking about Udinese, who will probably most of all try to defend all 90 minutes long and strike on the break here with I don't know, Gerard Deulofeu or Okaka. Interesting team, athletic team, good on set pieces, corners or free kicks. They are good on aerial balls, so I really fancy them this year to score a lot of goals from set pieces. So they always tend to on their matches go for the corners market, because I think that there is plenty of value. I think that Juventus will start on the right foot here, and I think that the -1. I think that they will win. First of all, let's say that. So you can stick it in an ACA bet or a parlay bet, however you want to call it. But this brings us a free bet here, -1 on the Asian handicap at 1.85. So in case of just one goal win, you will take your money back. In case they score, they win by 2. That's it. So this is why I'm saying it's a free bet.
Okay, I like it. I like it. Tan, what's your pick and why are you going for it?
No, it makes sense what Alex said. I am a different one, but anyway, same way. I have Juventus to be ahead, half-time, full-time. Udinese are risking this season. They always had a safe squad to sail on the 12th place, never being particularly... Udinese never risked to be relegated in the last season. They never played for a position that is over the 10th. And still, they never risked to be relegated. It's unbelievable how consistent they have been between 10th and 14th place, always staying distant enough from the danger. I'm not sure it will be repeated again. They have lost Rodrigo De Paul, 35 million to Atletico, and that is the main thing. Whoever watched Udinese anytime, they know that 51% of Udinese power fire, but even ability to build up, ability to play the ball was up to Rodrigo De Paul. And also, they lost also Juan Musso. The goalkeeper, Argentinian, in the last 2 years was great and moved to Atalanta. And Atalanta, when Atalanta is doing this kind of something, just think that Musso was booked to go to Inter. But then Inter suddenly became penniless, so he went to Atalanta. But he would be already at Inter if it wasn't for what happened suddenly. So everybody knows that a safe season for a team is made by a reliable goalkeeper, a consistent converter, and even if De Paul wasn't a striker, but anyway, so he was scoring enough. One of the, well, not the best midfielders scoring in Serie A, and a good defender. Udinese lost 2 of these 3, so I see them in trouble. They might risk to be sucked into the relegation fight. But anyway, here Juventus, that is sailing on the enthusiasm of being the team with Chiellini, Bonucci, Bernardeschi, Chiesa, and now adding Locatelli. So it makes 5 Euro 2020 champions in the same squad. So they are on this enthusiasm saying,
drink, everyone drink.
They are holding the flag. Well, actually, they signed yesterday Locatelli, and they're
and also Locatelli was in the squad that Italy won.
No, I mentioned that. I just mentioned that. But they did the unveiling video, and the unveiling video was like Chiellini saying, I am Giorgio, I am a European champion, and I pass my phone to a European champion. He went to Chiesa, to Bonucci, to Bernardeschi, until he says to a new Juventus player, European champion, and there it is. So it makes 5 Euro 2020 champions Juventus squad. Anyway, they are sailing on this enthusiasm. It's not this they should worry about, and Udinese will be in danger this season.
Yeah, I think they could do a number on Udinese in this game. Okay, next one up is Bologna versus Salernitana. Not sure what we're going to get from Salernitana. My favourite bet a few seasons ago was just betting against Benevento every week in, week out. I made a fortune betting against Benevento. Could Salernitana be the new Benevento, Tan, or are they a bit better than that?
No, there could be that danger. There could be that danger because the situation. Okay, so the area is more or less the same next to Naples. Salernitana are back to Serie A for the only second time after 20 years. Great enthusiasm. They had very good players in the past. Anyway, they had Marco Di Vaio, for example. The thing is that the situation is weird. So Salernitana should not supposed to be in Serie A because in Serie A, as in Champions League, as in every league, there is the rule that the same owner can't own 2 different teams. Claudio Lotito, the Lazio president, is also the owner of Salernitana. So they said, okay, that's fine. By June 25, you should present the new owner to which you are handing over the ownership. Said, yes. What happened? There is just a blind trust that actually is not blind at all, to whom he handed the shares of the club.
Imagine Lazio versus Salernitana, direct match.
Imagine if it happens in a situation where Lazio is fighting for Scudetto, for Champions,
whatever. Yeah.
It's unbelievable. So there is the situation.
Italian football's corrupt.
Mama, it's unbelievable. This is exactly the usual Italian way of not finding a solution to a problem. So this situation is still standing, but this means that Salernitana could basically almost not doing any transfer because this blind trust, except Simi, they signed today. So Simi is good, but they almost did anything. So the team is, I would say, helpless, but they have the enthusiasm of the city. Bologna are always good. Bologna signed Arnautovic. So Bologna are very unbalanced, very good up front, very shaky in the back, and they will probably lose also Gary Medel. Anyway, Bologna to win in this, and actually it's even good odds for Bologna to win. Although Bologna must do something to fix the defense.
Okay, so Tan's told us all about Salernitana, Alex, but I can see you're going for Bologna in this game. Tell us about Bologna and why you think they're going to win. Is it just because Salernitana is so bad, or have you got some about Bologna?
No. Bologna, it was one of the teams that I made a lot of profit over the last 2-3 years in Serie A. I like the fact that they kept Moussa Barrow, and most of all, it was a loanee from Atalanta, but right now they paid the money to take him for good. So Moussa Barrow, by far, is one of my favorites. I would say top 6-7 strikers in Serie A. I don't understand why Atalanta gave him away, but probably Moussa Barrow wanted to stay and play more minutes because he's a starter at Bologna. In Atalanta, for sure, that he wouldn't be a starter. But, for example, if Zapata leaves at Inter, what you will do? So I think that it was a move that wasn't thought too deep, by Gasperini and the company. So I think that Salernitana, as Tan said, yes, and also Sean in the chat said they brought in Simi just today. They signed Simi. Probably he will not play in the first round, but if you look at their squad, free transfers from Sahel League Professionnel in Tunisia, Ural Premier League, Livorno, Juventus under 23, Chievo Verona, Triestina, Bari, San Feliciana. So players that you don't know. Maybe someone will come and wow, they will become stars, But I don't think so. If at 25, 26 you didn't arrive at the top level, at the top team in Serie A, I don't think that you will make that move right now. So Bologna, in my opinion, are too good right now for Salernitana, who for sure will go down at the end of the season.
Anyway, just to add, when I was saying that Bologna will be dangerous, not in this game, but for the rest of the season in defense, they played Coppa Italia against Ternana, just promoted to Serie B. They went down, Bologna 1-5, then they recovered until 4-5, but in no way Bologna could go down 1-5 to Ternana. They are very unbalanced. This is something we will pick up again along the season.
Okay, interesting. That's a good trend to look out for, guys. Maybe both teams to score when Bologna are playing against other teams. Jose Mourinho's back in Italy. Last time he was there, he was winning titles, winning Champions Leagues with Inter Milan. Now he's at Roma. Wonder what we're going to see from Jose. He's used to kind of going into clubs where he's got a huge transfer budget. He just takes over and buys his way to a lot of success. I know there's a lot of tactical acumen as well, but it seems like his stock has kind of plummeted a bit in recent seasons with not winning trophies at his last two clubs. No trophies at Tottenham and no trophies towards the end of his tenure at Man United. Bit of a different project for him at Roma. He tried to sign Granit Xhaka. That was his master plan, which sounded like a terrible idea to me. Probably a blessing in disguise that he didn't go. But he's got Tammy Abraham. What are they going to do? What are we going to see? What are we seeing from Roma this season? Can they beat Fiorentina? What do we think? What's Jose going to do?
Yeah, I think that Tammy Abraham is by a mile their best transfer. After that, they bought from Genoa another center forward, Eldor Shomurodov, Rui Patricio as a keeper from Wolverhampton, Ibanez from Atalanta at center back. So it looks like they have some money to spend, and Jose Mourinho is there for the project. We know that he's a good manager, not a little bit overrated in my opinion, but he's still a good manager. On the other side, Fiorentina, I don't know if they will sell Vlahovic or not. If they sell Vlahovic, they will be in trouble. I don't know what to say about this match. I don't want to touch it. I want to see Roma playing a little bit under Jose Mourinho. I want to see what will happen with Fiorentina. I liked Fiorentina in the last 1-2 season. I liked him as a group.
What?
I didn't made a lot of bets, but I liked them as a group. And
nobody.
Shut up, man.
No, shut up. Are you sure you watched that? We are talking about Fiorentina. Are you sure?
Yeah,
not even the hardest Fiorentina fan liked Fiorentina in the last 2 seasons. Nobody,
yeah,
really nobody.
Because I'm a neutral person, so I don't have to watch them as a fan and say, oh, they are trash. You should send out a letter to get an invoice from Fiorentina, because you are literally the only person that likes Fiorentina in the last 2 years. Person. They send me a T-shirt with Vlahovic and that before he leaves, so
I could
sell it after 1 year. I think that Roma will win this one, but I think that we should stay away from this game.
Yeah, I'm staying away as well. I'm not quite sure what we're going to see from Roma in the opening weeks of the season. A lot of change in the summer. But Tan's not staying away from anything. You've got a bet for every single game, so let's have it. What are you going for?
So, Fiorentina, new manager, Vincenzo Italiano, the guy that made wonder at Spezia. And it will take him a bit of time, and it will be hard if they sell Vlahovic. but definitely it's a different football proposal from what they have seen in the last years at Fiorentina. So this is already something different. Finally, there is someone with a vision compared to the last 3 or 4 years. Montella had a vision, but not if you bring him in the middle of the season. So anyway, it's a bit of a shamble because it's not clear what will happen with Vlahovic. Mourinho arrived, well, it's been a shamble also how Italiano arrived on Fiorentina bench. Let's remind that Gennaro Gattuso was the Fiorentina manager at the beginning of June. After 15 days, he was fired because there was a clash between the Fiorentina management and Jorge Mendes, who is a Gattuso agent, because they said that he wanted to impose his players. So this is the situation Fiorentina has been living. On the other side, Mourinho is the Roma manager since the beginning of May, the new season manager that arrived earlier than anybody else. Now, as many feared, especially among Roma fans, they feared that the Mourinho surprising hiring might work as a bit of a cover-up of not doing any particular transfers, which is exactly what happened. Because, yeah, Abraham arrived, but still, that's it. They lost Dzeko. Spinazzola is out for 6 months. The Euro 2020 champions and best left back of the Euros, Spinazzola. So it's hard for them. But Mourinho, even for how much someone can despise him, and I really don't, and Manchester United, he won FA Cup, he won Europa League, he brought them to Champions League. He did it. He did it.
Didn't win
He did it. He did it. Well, Arsenal would strip everything away if they would ever win an Europa League. So, and Manchester United was back to Champions League after 6 years. So, well, he won. At Tottenham, he failed.
First, he tells you that Italy won the Euro 2020 20 times. And after that, to put it more down, he says about Arsenal, you know?
No, come on.
No, listen. Arsenal are going to sign Aaron Ramsdale. I don't know if you know about Aaron Ramsdale.
Aaron Ramsey?
Better than Donnarumma. He's better than any keeper that's ever played. So Arsenal are going to win the league now. It's guaranteed. Put all your money in Arsenal to win the Premier League with Ramsdale in goal, okay?
I love your optimism. Anyway, to wrap it up, the good thing of Mourinho, compared to what has always harmed Roma, is that he's never, or at least very little, wasting points against little teams. And this is something that has always harmed Roma. Maybe it won't be enough to compete for the title, but could be enough to bring them in Champions League. So in games like this, let's see. I want to believe, but I think he stay focused, even though it's important to remind, tonight Roma are playing away playoff game of Conference League at Trabzonspor. But anyway, I still believe Roma to win against Fiorentina.
Okay, thanks, Tan. So in 17 minutes' time, we're going to start filming about the Bundesliga. And our man Esteban needs about 15 minutes to set up the show. Hence, we have about 2 minutes to get through Napoli versus Venezia, Cagliari versus Spezia, and Sampdoria versus Milan. So, speed round. Let's go. Napoli versus Venezia. Tan, who's going to win? What's going to happen?
Napoli became much more solid. Osimhen, I think, will do a great season under Spalletti. Venezia got an interesting project, but their technical level is very, very low. Napoli to win with even 1 goal handicap.
Nice, Alec. Oh, look, we've got a countdown going on. That's brilliant.
And I spent only 20 seconds on the game.
Alex,
I love it.
You've got 20 seconds to tell us about Napoli, Venezia.
Venezia project, wow, bringing players from MLS, and the last transfer rumor is that Giovinco, if you remember Giovinco, Sebastian Giovinco is joining them. Anyway, Napoli should trash Venezia in this one, badly.
I'm also going for Napoli, so full house. Napoli to trash Venezia. Thank you very much, Esteban, for speeding us along. Cagliari versus Spezia. Put another 30 seconds on the clock, and let's talk about Napoli versus Cagliari versus Spezia. Alex, go.
Yeah, I think that Cagliari right now have a solid team, and I think that they should win this game. Spezia, yes, they played. they were the surprise team last season in Serie A. But Cagliari are too good right now and in front of their fans. So all good with that. I don't understand really why Spezia didn't play the friendly games. Maybe Tan can light us up.
Tan, you've got things to tell us?
Spezia are a shamble at the moment. They've been blocked for 2 transfer campaigns by FIFA. They lost almost all the good players and might lose also Zola to West Ham, or to West Bromwich or Fulham. Cagliari to win, even because Spezia at the moment aren't competitive and I see them going down.
Okay, interesting. Thank you very much. Final game. Alex has got the Milan shirt on, so
give us 2 minutes on Sampdoria Milan. Come on.
No, we cannot have 2 minutes.
It's Sampdoria Milan. Come on.
1 minute. You can talk 1 minute. After that, I will follow you with a tip.
Okay.
Go.
Shall I go? Milan favorite because Sampdoria changed. Well, they didn't change the tactical project. D'Aversa, the manager that came from Parma, replaced Ranieri. Stupid decision, in my opinion, because Ranieri was doing very good. It's all a matter of salary over there. Milan, we know who they have lost. They brought in Giroud. That anyway, I think in the I know what you mean. But anyway, I think that Giroud in the normal game in a Serie A could be useful. I think that the problems for Milan will start to surge when the Champions League will start and their short squad will be exposed. So I see Milan not making it into the top 4 Champions League spot. But with the enthusiasm at the beginning and when Champions League midweek is still not there, I see that they can edge Sampdoria, not easily, but comfortably, and the odds are good.
Okay, thanks very much. Alex, can Olivier Giroud fire Milan to glory this season, or is it going to be a bad one for Milan?
To glory, no. But I still think that Olivier Giroud is one of the most underrated players, strikers in European football. I think that he will do very good at AC Milan. I agree with Tan for AC Milan not making in top 4. I don't think that there is a place for them in top 4 right now. With Juve, Inter, Napoli, and Atalanta, this is how I see the top 4 here. So over 2.5 goals in this match for me, official bet at 1.8. I think that Sampdoria will score against AC Milan.
Nice. Never going to forgive Giroud for going on a 12-game goal drought when Arsenal were chasing the title one season and just blew it.
So you are making your heart talk.
My heart is calling me not to bet on Giroud. All right, thanks very much, guys. Esteban, please bring up the picks. I'll read them out, and then we'll get ready for the Bundesliga. Okay, I'm at the top, so I'm going for Inter and under 4.5 goals at -137. I'm going for the Alex Classic in the Torino versus Atalanta game at -125. And I've got Juventus and over 1.5 goals at -137. My favourite tip is Napoli and under 4.5 goals at -125. We've just got 4 of Alex's tips. Oh, I'm seeing why Tan's putting his hand up, because Tan's got Alex and Alex has got Tan.
Exactly.
Mixing them up. These are actually Alex's picks that I'm going
and Tan has my name under him.
You could.
I never know your name. What did you say this?
So Alex, who isn't Tan, he's Alex, is going for Alex Classic in the Torino Atalanta game. He's going for Bologna to win at -139. He's got over 2.5 goals in the Sampdoria versus AC Milan game at -125. And he's loving a bit of Inter and under 4.5 goals at -137.
Wait, Martin, 10 seconds. Alex, do you realize that these 20 seconds is the only time in your lifetime you can live as a European champion? Celebrate!
All right, quick. Inter are both teams to score from Tan at +200. He's going for Atalanta -165, Bologna to win at -138, Cagliari to win at +110, and Sassuolo to win at +170. Those are just 5 of his 10 picks. But if you watch the show back, you'll hear his prediction for every single game. Okay, guys, thank you very much for watching. Please tap
See
the
you in
thumbs
10 minutes.
See you in 10 minutes.
We overran. We've got 10 minutes to set up the Bundesliga, but I think it's going to be okay because Esteban is a technical wizard. But give us a thumbs up on your way out. Show a bit of love for Alex and Tan. It's been great to start Serie A show again. And we look forward to seeing you again in 10 minutes' time. Thank you very much.